to the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel. In this video, I'm recapping episode 7 of P-Valley, Last Call for Alcohol. This episode, I just want to say, I enjoyed the pacing of this show because we get so much plot and just so much story in one episode, but it doesn't feel rushed or anything. So I really enjoy that. I do not enjoy that everything came to a screeching halt with this cliffhanger of an ending that they gave us. Katori, girl, why would you do this to us? Like, what is about to happen, Cher? So in this episode, it may or may not be the Pynk's last night. Everybody is gearing up for Murda Night. And proper title, because we don't know what the hell about to happen. Everybody old hoes in the building for Murda Night. Before we get there, so we, for the past couple of episodes, have been faced with the fact that the Pynk might be closing to make room for this big casino that's about to come to Chucalissa. People are divided on whether or not this is actually gonna generate revenue for the community as opposed to money for the company, which unfortunately that's what it ends up being a lot of times, that the only people who generate revenue and who a lot of times these things don't end up helping out the community, which is what Andre wants to happen, and it's what the mayor wants to happen, but they're both going about it in these really weird ways, and who's to say whether or not Dreamland is going to be the ultimate winner here, which it probably will. We also see that Corbin, child, I know who Corbin was. Corbin and Uncle Clifford's relationship is on the rocks because Uncle Clifford is working with Patrice Woodbine, Pastor Patrice, child, to try to get people to sign a petition so that the casino doesn't get built. And Corbin and Uncle Clifford have been good friends since they were young. You know, Uncle Clifford kept Corbin's secret about being, you know, what's their family's name? Child, I forgot this family. The Kyle family, of being, you know, the child of the patriarch of that family. And now that Uncle Clifford, because she's not getting any money offers for her club, so she's just like, well, if I'm not gonna get a cut of this, ain't nobody getting nothing, which I think is fair, to just cut her and her family's legacy out of the deal is really shitty. And you know, Corbin makes the point that white people aren't going to pay for what they can get for free, but to Corbin it's like, well, you went to bat for your family to make sure that y'all got a leasing option instead of a sell. You couldn't go to bat for your homegirl, you know. So that relationship is now quite contentious, and he clearly got his ass beat by his brothers because he signed the leasing agreement first. And Andre kind of threw him under the bus a little bit, that, you know, he signed without any argument. So it kind of adds to, y'all niggas is in cahoots about this. The Kyle brothers are good old boys, come from old Southern money, slave money, you know, they're just not good people. So of course they beat their mixed brother up for, you know, going against their wishes. And this is now calling the mayor's integrity into question. And it's interesting that the Kyle brothers are calling his integrity into question when it's just like, y'all just pulled a gun on y'all brother. Girl, bye. Like, funny how we choose our sins. So now the relationship between Andre and his godfather, the mayor, is strained as well, because Andre did go behind everyone's back to get this land leased as opposed to sold, which was what, you know, the people at the top, their preference was. And the Kyle brothers, their preference was just to sell the land and be done with it, so that whether the casino gets built or not, they still get some money. So it's all a big mess. What I do enjoy though is the conversation between generations. Andre wants to call his godfather out, you know, on being a dishonest man, on not being honorable. And to his point, he's like, you know, I'm the one who had to drink from colored only water fountains. I'm the one who had to walk 6 miles just to go to a good school. My generation did the dirty work so that you could sit here and feel like a man because you think you got over on some white people. And I think that that is an argument or a bit of a source of strain within generations of marginalized groups. I hear a lot of conversation within the gay community of, you know, the younger generation not having to suffer in the same ways as the previous generation in that community. You know, there was a Stonewall riot so that you guys could have things a little bit easier. And it's like, well, do you want people to have things easier or not? You know, I think what it is people just don't want their sacrifice to be forgotten. And I think in this situation, you know, when it comes to Black people, particularly Black people in the South, don't forget what the people before you had to do in order for you to get to where you are right now in this moment. And I think from the mayor's perspective, and I think Katori Hall kind of spoke to this on her Twitter, y'all have to live tweet with her when the show premieres. I love the insight that she provides. But the point that she made is that, you know, the mayor is kind of, he feels like he has to play dirty because the people who created this game, white people, they're playing dirty. So you can't quite get in here without getting your hands dirty. And I think Andre is seeing that too. Like, you did some underhanded shit too. So it's like, hold your judgment because you're also not on the up and up. And we also saw just how much of a fuck nigga he was this episode. Like, damn, Obama. Ugh. Anyway, so I loved how Mississippi schooled Lil Murda on what it means to perform, the vulnerability that is required for you to effectively perform in front of an audience. And we've seen that Lil Murda is not great at vulnerability, at honesty, at revealing himself because he has this huge secret of a relationship with Uncle Clifford. So naturally, he's not going to be able to get on a stage and be his full self because he isn't even his full self off the stage, you know? This is a huge part of his life that he's hiding. And I loved that Mississippi was able to school him on something that she's very familiar with, something that she knows about, which is stage presence. So I thought that was a really great moment between the two of them and showing them how mutually beneficial this faux relationship is for both of them. So that was dope. I'm really happy that Uncle Murda, I keep doing that, that Uncle Clifford and Mercedes' relationship isn't ruined because Uncle Clifford bailed Patrice Woodbine out of jail to use her congregation as a means to stand up against this casino. You know, they were able to galvanize people and create this whole protest and everything. I'm really happy that Mercedes understood where Uncle Clifford was coming from when she said, listen, if I don't have this club, I don't have anything. If I don't have this club, these girls don't have anything. If I don't have this club, Big L don't have nothing. Who gonna hire him? You know, and that Mercedes agreed to dance one last time in what was, I'm sorry, a stunning outfit. I love that pearl bodysuit. Like, I want that just to have. Like, maybe a man to wear it for at some point. We'll see. The conversation between Mercedes and Autumn I thought was very revealing in that you see just how jaded Mercedes is when it comes to dating, relationships, love. She says this line where she's like, there's no love for people who sell lust, you know, and sure, Andre is married, but you need to have at least, you know, one last goodbye or something like that. And Autumn is kind of like, girl, he married. And Mercedes is like, everybody's sharing a nigga with somebody. That kind of mentality really makes me sad. That's a conversation for another day, but to just give up in that regard, it makes me sad. Again, that's for another video. I do want to know, who does Mercedes wish that she could say goodbye to? Who's the one that got away for her? Is it the father of her kid? Does she wish she could have said goodbye before he died? I got questions about that. Lil Murda got me wanting to dye my hair blue. It looked good. We about the same complexion. I'm wondering if I can pull that off. I thought it looked great. I loved this special situation that he set up for him and Uncle Clifford. I love how he was in service to her physically and emotionally. Like, talk to me about how you're feeling. I want to be here to support you. I did this for you. Sure, I stole your car. You know, ghetto romance. Why not? Anyway, after they have this tryst in this beautifully lit, you know, old school Chevy, I guess it's Chevy. I don't know cars, y'all. Don't judge me. But Lil Murda gets caught leaving from, you know, the side of the river where nobody goes by his manager. And the conversation that his manager had with him, I didn't quite get homophobia from it. I did rewatch it, and I didn't quite get homophobia from it. I think that, if anything, he wanted Lil Murda to admit, this is more than a one-time thing for you. This is more than a fetish for you. You are in love with this woman. However, we trying to get this money. So I think it comes down to, are you actually going to choose the money over the love, like your song say, or nah? Like, what you doing? And I have to say, looking at his face after that conversation of, I'm not gonna let you being in love get in the way of us making this money, looking at Lil Murda's face, looking at the way that he was approaching that stage, I think that he is going to sacrifice his relationship with Uncle Clifford in order to be a successful rapper. And it sucks that, you know, our community is so unaccepting of gay men, especially, and especially if those men, actually, I don't know that Lil Murda is gay. Maybe Lil Murda is pansexual. That's a good question. I need to ask someone that, because I think that he's pansexual as opposed to gay, but we'll see. I'll circle back on that. But either way, we're not accepting of anything other than a very straight man who is a womanizer and, you know, says homophobic things to prove that he's not gay, you know, things like that. And I think it's heartbreaking, because you know that in real life, there are probably a lot of male rappers who are living this life and can't come out of the closet because our community just isn't accepting enough. Like, are we going to accept a gay black male rapper, a pansexual black male rapper? Like, are we going to accept that as a whole? You know, if the beat's all right, I'll dance all night, I don't care. But as a whole, can we be that accepting? Which I also have a problem with, because you'll be upset if someone's living on the down low, but you also don't create an environment where those people are safe to live as they are. So check yourself, people. I thought the conversation between Derek and Gidget was really interesting, because you're seeing this poverty shaming between white people, which happens a lot, but people seem to, I hate seeing these conversations in our community where people think that Black people are the only people who have like a level of divisiveness within them. White people have that as well. So I was really happy to see, you know, Derek is calling her, you know, trailer park trash, young mama crackhead and stuff like that. And she's like, well, yo, po white ass, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, seems like you both probably kind of don't have much, but I thought that it was really interesting seeing that divide between the two of them, as she wanted to defend Keyshawn, because once again, Mississippi is in here with all these bruises on herself. And I found it horrifying and strange that Derek came there to support her, to watch her dance for other men, which I'm sure probably is a huge part of why he feels justified in beating her ass the way that he obviously is. And then he gets this bottle and says to put it on her tab. It's like, you are the ultimate trash ass person, and I hope Diamond gets the opportunity to beat your ass. Speaking of Diamond in Mississippi, oh my God, we got so close. We got so close. I really love that he gave her this carnelian crystal necklace, because I have some in my room right now as we speak, to give you courage and, you know, as you go about your endeavors. And Katori Hall was saying that that was a callback to one of the guest directors who gave her a carnelian stone at the beginning of this endeavor so that she could go into it courageously. So I thought that was really sweet. Okay, Gidget in the dressing room wonders why Keyshawn doesn't just leave Derek, and Autumn says, because that's when they'll kill you, is when you'll leave. This foreshadows the fact that her ex, everybody old hoes, showed up to the Pynk, okay, for this last night, for Murda Night. And that foreshadows her ex showing up, and people were wondering, well, why would you go quietly with him? For people who are victims of domestic violence, it's survival mode. It's, I think the thought process is, if I just go along with this much, maybe I can get out later. But I don't like for us to victim blame domestic violence victims, because that mindset is just to survive. And you know, she got really close, she escaped, she ran away, she said she shot him, and I'm like, damn girl, where and when? To no avail. And he shows up here, he's found her. I'm assuming that the sheriff went and told him, like, your girl working down at the Pynk. So after Autumn has this VIP room tryst with Andre, where she realizes, like, this man is never going to be mine and this is kind of pointless. I think that's what she realized. Here come her ex. And the fact that Mercedes was slow to pick up on her discomfort, I was like, bitch, read the room, you know? And it looks like she did have some awareness after the fact of like, something about this doesn't seem right. So I'm hoping that Mercedes will come to save the day if shit, you know, goes off the rails. Mercedes also had the coach there and says that she wanted to talk about an opportunity with him. So I'm like, girl, what you got planned for the coach? I'm curious, I'm excited. Are we gonna get some money? Is he gonna say the Pynk? We'll see. Let's see. Y'all know I be having my notes. End of the episode, we see that Autumn's husband asks, where's my money? Again, y'all, I don't know how fraud works, but was that his money that she was stealing? And if so, how? Somebody drop down in the comments and let me know. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm excited to see what happens next time. I think next time is going to be the season finale, which I'm not ready for, but I do believe we're getting a season 2 where we're also going to get, Katori Hart mentioned that we're going to get more background on the background dancers. We're going to get to learn a little bit more about their lives, so I'm excited about that. So you guys, let me know what you thought about this episode. Drop down in the comments, like, comment, share, subscribe, you know, donate to my Patreon if you like what you see and want to help me continue making videos for the Free Ski Wee Ski. I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye.